Welcome back. You're listening to IPL Radio and this is the Jess Address, and I'm very lucky to have someone from the Naragebup Environmental Centre. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what you do there?
Hi there, I'm Janine Matthews. I've got several roles. I look after all the public relations and also the volunteer coordinator are my main two things that I do, but I'm on the committee. I help as regards the workshops and just anything. As once you're a volunteer there, if you've got a good skill, they'll snuffle you up.
They've snuffled you up, have they?
And truly.
It's a great word, snuffle. Look, let's talk about the Environmental Centre. You guys have heaps on offer and our theme is school holiday programs. So can you tell us a little bit about what's on offer at the Environmental Centre?
Right, well, we've got several things on, starting on the 9th of April. So we've got the Just Joeys, which are the Mandurah Just Joey Rescue. They'll be coming along with a handful of babies, and some of them are very, very new baby Joeys and others are a bit older. So some of them are still just what they call pinkies. The Dot who runs the rescue, she'll be able to answer questions and it's just more of a snuggly.
And an education process as well, the development of a kangaroo and things like that kids get out of it, plus being, in that close proximity of such a beautiful animal, and learning about its development and things like that. It's an important part of what you promote, isn't it?
And also what to do if you do happen to find a dead kangaroo on the side of the road as regards checking the pouch, just in case there's a baby in there.
Yeah, and we do have quite a few kangaroos around in our area, yes, don't we? Especially the Baldivis area. What else do you have on offer there? I would imagine that will be very popular.
It is, and even last time I think there was just as many volunteers having cuddles with the Joeys as there were people in the workshop. So we've also got what we call the reptile experience, so we've got that on 2 dates again as well, like Joeys are on 2 separate days. And that one, Pauline, who I refer to as our reptile wrangler, she gets some of the reptiles out and the kids can learn about like the bobtails and the blue tongues and that type of thing. She'll bring those out and they can wander on the table for the kids to...
And how important they are to the environment.
Yes. And she sort of talks about what to do if you find one in the wild or in your garden. So that's a very popular one. And also she'll bring some of the pythons out as well.
So it's hands-on.
It's very hands-on.
I'm not sure I'd go close to the snakes, but...
I'm getting there.
You're getting there?
I'm getting there.
They're interesting beasts, aren't they? They look light, but they really aren't, and they are strong.
We've got 2 carpet pythons, which one of them shed her skin just recently, and that was nearly 2 metres long.
Wow.
So I wouldn't want to hold her because I say she'd be very heavy.
Yeah.
But we've also got 2 smaller Stimson pythons, which are the ones that come out for the workshop because they're lighter and all the kids love to have them around their neck and have their photo taken.
And I guess you guys go through, a little bit of the process of what snakes can be touched or what you do when you see a snake in the environment or, what you do because not all snakes can be handled. So,
No. Well, Stimson pythons aren't venomous, but they can still bite with their jaw.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'm still not holding that one then.
It'll hurt, but that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
I believe that's only when Pauline's feeding them and they've mistaken her finger for the mouse that she's feeding it, I think.
And you've got more on offer?
Yes, we've got the dipping pond, which is a very interesting workshop, and that's one where it's a pond we have out the side which has got like algae growing over the top and everything. But it's more for the kids to dip into and get a dish of water and to see all the little wrigglies that are in there. So they're all what we refer to as the macroinvertebrates.
Yep.
Big word I had to learn. And they're all sort of all the larvae from all of different things. So we've got charts there for them to learn and identify and learn what they all are. And then they can also look at them under the microscope on the computers.
You're getting great value out of the programs you're offering because there is that educational process,
yes.
And it's getting kids thinking about, it's not just water that I can see through. There's actually something in there and getting them using tools like your microscopes and things like that.
Yes,
so that's fantastic.
It is.
I believe your last one would happen to be my favourite program because it is about frogs.
No, turtles.
Oh,
but
turtles.
We do have frogs there as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the frogs come out for a workshop, but they're not.
They're my favourite.
We should come and have a look at them because we've got some big ones with spots on them.
Yeah.
Fabulous. The turtle talk is about, we've been very fortunate over the last 6 months or so to be rehabbing a couple of injured loggerhead turtles that came down in the storms last year.
Okay.
And they were both found on our local beaches a day apart. And they were very new little hatchlings that were only about, people on the radio can't see that, just really tiny. And both of them had a flipper missing. So they went up to the zoo and they were treated and healed, basically. Yep. And then they've come back to us and we've been looking after them. And
the custodians.
Yes, and we'll have them till they're big enough to be taken back up to the Ningaloo Reef and be released in the water again.
Oh, wow. Do you think you'll get to be a part of the release?
I'm not sure. Well, I personally wouldn't be, but Pauline may be because she's the head one to look after all of that sort of thing.
I guess when these animals come into your care, you start to form bonds with them.
Oh, yes.
And it would be incredibly fulfilling to see them released back into the wild, I would imagine.
It would be fantastic.
Well, it's just part of what you do there at the Environmental Centre. But you've got a lot more other than just the programs. You can just go in there. I believe it's a gold coin donation.
No, it's a $6 entry
$6, yep.
for adults and $4 for children and concessions.
Yep.
And we've got everything in there. We've got all of our other reptiles that are all there in cages and what have you. We've got the frogs, which are fantastic.
My favourite. Can't talk about frogs enough.
Me too, I'm a frog person. And there's stick insects, crazy crabs. We've got a huge big indoor saltwater pond, which has got a lot of fish in it. And we've got a small banjo shark, which is only about what that is. I'd say 1.5 foot, but I don't know that in centimetres. And also a shovel-nosed ray.
Okay.
Now, both of those are quite funny because they burrow under the sand, and if they get a bit of a fright, they just go under the sand, and then they hide, and you can just see the nostrils of the ray breathing. But there's other fish in there. There's blowies, which are well fed, and there's whiting and anything that could be caught from the jetty. The person who helps us with the marine side of things, he catches things at night and then brings them in and puts them in the pond.
And a good opportunity for us to observe them, and their behaviours kind of in a tank. Yes. That's safe and educational. You've also got chooks there as well.
Yes, we've got a handful of chooks up the back and some ducks and a goose.
Yeah, and you kind of try to promote this as sustainable living as well. You've also got a garden.
We've got community gardens there that you can hire as well. So we've got a lot of things to do with the environment as regards like having chooks and grow your own veggies and how to recycle your veggie scraps for the chooks and all that sort of thing. And in amongst the vast garden there, we've got a bush tucker trail, which we've got new signage up now, which identifies the different plants.
Oh, wow.
On the walk.
Yeah.
And also there's a huge, just a nature walk as well. So
that's great information because people want to become more aware of plants and things that are around them that are actually edible.
Yeah, and we've also got some native plants there for sale as well.
Oh, great.
Yes.
My partner will be interested in that. He's plant mad.
Come along.
Now, you are run by volunteers, aren't you?
Yes, we're always in the need for volunteers. At the moment, we're mainly needing some people who have knowledge in the marine area.
What do you find the benefits from volunteering, just speaking from a personal standpoint, for you? What do you find the benefits are for you?
I've relished. I've volunteered for about the last 10 years. So I've been at the centre for about 9 months. And they become your family. I live by myself. I'm a disabled person, so I don't get out and about as much as the average person would. And at the moment, we're all hibernating anyway.
Yeah.
So to me, it's the family atmosphere, and I enjoy talking to people when they come into the counter because I'm there on a Friday and a Saturday, and I just love talking to people about the place and what's on offer. And some people you can be a little bit more cheeky and a bit pushy. With
I could imagine you would be a bit cheeky.
though we've got one even cheekier than me on a Saturday there with me. He's a hoot. So yeah, it's nice just to talk to people about different things and
gives you a sense of purpose, doesn't
yes,
it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And occasionally we have people bring in an injured bird or something like that, or they ring up and say, oh, we found this injured wildlife or whatever, and want to know who to take it to. So if by chance you do find any injured wildlife or just birds in general or that type of thing, take them to your vet, your local vet, because they have all the contacts for all the specific native animal side of things. If it's a seabird or
they'll be able to treat it too.
They can treat it and then hand it off to the appropriate place to rehab them or whatever if they need to be, or to re-release them.
Well, it's such a beautiful centre, and I'll be coming down over the school holiday program, definitely to see the turtles, because I think that sounds really, really interesting.
Well, you should come to that talk on that day, because I know Pauline will be giving a lot more information on turtles and how they live. And
so if parents are interested in the programs, how do they go about enrolling?
Go to Try Booking. All of our workshops are on Try Booking, and if that's something that's a bit tricky, you can come in and pay over the counter.
What about if someone doesn't know where the Environmental Centre is?
We're on Safety Bay Road, right opposite the Big Lake, Richmond.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest place for us, because if you don't know where that big lake is, you don't know Rockingham and Safety Bay.
Thank you so much for coming in and joining me. It's really nice to talk to you and see how volunteering has actually lightened up your life.
Oh, it's enriched it greatly.
Yeah, and the Environmental Centre is such a great place to be, and I hope it's absolutely rocking over the school holidays. All right, we're going to listen to some more music now. Thanks for listening to IPL. This is the Jess Address, and if you've got plans over the school holidays, make sure you get down to the Environmental Centre.